Good day, humanity. How are you? So, I'm doing this reading today for capital Steez. Like, this is kind of like, I guess, random, but not so random. And I'm gonna wait maybe for some people to come up in here or whatever, but the party got to get going. You feel me? What's good? Welcome. Um, I'm doing all right. How are you? So this reading, again, I'm doing a reading primarily for capital Steez because it has been 8 years since Steez has passed away. And it's kind of ironic how it happened on Christmas Eve of all days. So I just it's kind of funny because someone was saying to me how, like, they just mentioned him to me all of a sudden, and I feel like he was on my mind a lot, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I should do Diana, maybe I should do Kurt Cobain, maybe I should do all these different things, and and I could just see him like in my third eye while I'm just like kind of like going through all these thoughts in my head on like who to do a reading for, and he's like sitting there just looking, just looking. You know what I'm saying? Just looking. Just watching, like not necessarily saying, oh, pick me. He's not doing all of that. He's just like waiting for me to choose him, I guess. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe I need like another sign or something to kind of like to kind of figure out like if I should be focused on this or whatever. And he kind of confirmed that for me. It was just like, someone, like I said, randomly came up to me and was like, yo, you should do a reading on Steez or whatever. And I'm like, it's crazy because that dude was in my head. Like that man was like just watching me in my third eye, just like looking at me while I'm like, have a million and one thoughts going through my mind, but like he's just like in the center of all of my thoughts, and he's just sitting there just watching me, just observing, like waiting for me to choose him to talk about. So it's like something that's really different. I'm not really too concerned about the people that are coming, not coming. I really don't care. This is kind of like a primary thing for him. Um, and, for the people that are up in here, again, I appreciate the conversation, people donating, doing whatever. I'm sure people are busy. They have like Christmas Eve stuff going on, and that's understandable. I'm not really a super, oh my God, holiday Christmas caroling type of person. That's just not me. So I'm gonna do me anyway, and the rest of the world will catch up. That's kind of how I feel. So forgive me. I'm like kind of just like still saging, still setting up, doing like a little bit of stuff, and because I want to get the energy right. And it's so crazy because I was like, yo, do you really want me to do a reading on you today? And I was sitting in the room just talking. And also, this head wrap that I have right now, this is his idea. He says that he wants my head covered. So I covered my head, and he picked out which scarf I'm going to wear. So I'm going to just, because it's going to be pure fire, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to just pick out, let him choose, like, give him the respect of him bringing his energy forward to me, and give him the respect of reading him, So here's what I'm going to do. I'm taking out, I specifically asked him, and it's gonna suck so bad because I'm gonna do my best to like hit on pointers or certain questions that people are gonna ask me anyway, because I know it's not that many people up in here, but like I said, it's not a big deal. But I'm just gonna allow you guys to ask me questions if you guys want to, and make this as interactive as possible. As I stated before, when I'm doing my tarot cards, I show my oracle deck. So I'm gonna show y'all. I show my oracle deck, my other deck, basically. My other deck, I don't show. I'm not showing it because they're very sensitive and they will black out every motherfucking thing. So I'm not gonna show them. And I ain't trying to test ancestors get gangster right now. Yeah, it's all good. A lot of people don't know who Capital Steez is. People should research who Capital Steez is. And I believe, like, I'm going to address him as Capital Steez. He does not want to go by his government name, is what he's telling me. Like, that's that he doesn't want to go by his slave master name, is what he's saying to me. So I'm not going to address him as such. I'm just going to address him as Capital Steez or as Steez. Like, that's just kind of how he is. He is a hip hop artist. He is a man that was, really into like the big boom bap era at the time. He was very much an inspiration when it came down to kind of like putting underground hip hop like back on the map and kind of bringing that lyricism back into hip hop. And, I didn't know much about him probably until he died. And that was 12/24, 2012. That's when he passed. And I remember kind of looking into him in the beginning and I think people did everything that they could to kind of like scare the whole situation away about his energy and who he was and everything and his consciousness. And I feel like the more that I just kind of like revisited his energy again, and I'm just like, it's about, he was on some conscious type stuff. And I just really want to ask him personally, like, what happened to you? Like, what went down? You know what I'm saying? What's good, basically? Like, what was the situation that happened with you? And I listened to a few of his songs, like, and just kind of got into like this whole conceptualized idea of like 47, and that's like his number and how it focuses on like the heart, crown chakra, and he believes that it has a lot of powerful influence behind it. So what I want to do is I'm going to shuffle up these oracle cards really quick. Let me see if I can all right, cool. My phone is pretty much charged. Make sure that's charged up real quick. I wanted to specifically, let me hold this up real quick, specifically start this. I wanted to specifically start this at, as I said before, at 407. That's kind of like in honor of him, to kind of give him, the respect that he deserves. And for people that, that see me or whatever, like I said, I'm going live in between these times. So if people see me live, you tell everybody else I'm live. I ain't about to be babysitting everybody to come fuck with me. I'm gonna just get into the energy because that's what he's asking of me to do. So his birthday is 7/7/1993. He is actually a 36 like me. So like I said, it's crazy because I had another scarf and it kind of matched my outfit a little bit more. But he was definitely digging the shirt. He loved the shirt. Humans are not real. He loved the shirt. And then he was just like, I like this one. It brings out your aura more. And I just want you to kind of like cover up your head because, you a queen. And he's just like, and it's like he speaks in ciphers. That's what I like about him the most. It's kind of crazy. He speaks in ciphers. And right before I began meditating, I was listening to 135 and it just like really freaked me out because like in the music video, or even in the lyrics itself, he was just like, I draw hearts around S's and J's and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because those are my initials for my name. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like strange. And then there's this woman like doing tarot and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, all right, I like the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 9, like whatever. Like it's just some crazy stuff. So I'm just kind of like, what the hell is going on with it? Like, I don't know. I ain't trying to make it all about me, but I just kind of feel like this is some eerie shit, So let's see what is his energy like right now. And then we're going to ask certain questions more heavier questions with the other cards. So basically, so the door to spirit is in a situation, and I'm talking about capital Steez. So that's who I'm focused on right now. What his energy is. He's showing me the door to romance, basically. That's in his subconscious mind. Oops. And I guess he's probably talking to me in a sort of way. But anyway, this is the indecisiveness on his crown, like whether to even open up the door, even to express specific things on how he's like feeling about certain stuff, I guess. And he's very, like I said, he's a very very gentle kind of soul, you know what I'm saying, but somewhat like not afraid to be direct about how he feels. He tends to be a bit shy at times, and that's kind of like really dope that I can like admire about him. He's saying that in the past, regardless of what it is, on a spiritual level, like he's always shown appreciation for this planet, for the love of this earth. He's showing appreciation that I've opened up the door to kind of like speak on him, or to give him the opportunity to communicate, because he was very much like, I ain't trying to say that he's like camera shy or anything. He would always light up, like whenever there's like a spotlight on him, and he'd just get all giddy like, oh wow, this is an opportunity for me to to kind of like showcase my talent. And he was very much talented. Like he was like far more evolved than most people. Like he just kind of wanted to get into a space of how can I say it, of like changing the dynamic of hip hop. Like for him, he's kind of like showing me like within his own career, he's like, I'm married to this. Like, the temple path, like this was my path that I was supposed to go on. This is my calling that I was supposed to choose for myself. And at times I would get, again, he was showing me like I would get a bit indecisive about whether if I, it wasn't the fact that I didn't love hip hop. It was the fact that there were a lot of poisonous energies in hip hop that made it very difficult for me to be who I am, or to be a very conscious, being, as far as being, having a complete, utter love affair for what I truly am passionate about. And in the center, he's showing me adjacent possibilities. He's kind of showing me the fact that it's kind of interesting. He keeps saying that it's like he's still, it's like, how can I say it? He's very much astral projected is what he's saying. I'm very much astral projected, but I refuse to walk through the door. And when I say walk through the door, I'm talking about spiritually, like basically his beliefs are like, I don't need to, like, door to spirit is basically like kind of like, how can I say it? Because see, I understand it the way that he's like communicating it to me. Because I know a lot of people, they'd be like, oh, go into the light and cross over and do all this other shit. But within his own consciousness, he believes that when you go into the light, it's like kind of like demelanating. That's the best way to say it, demelanating yourself. So he's like, I bury myself into earth, like I bury myself into the spiritual core of earth. That's the only door to spirit that I'm walking into. Because he has like very much of a deep love and appreciation for life in general. Like he's very much into that. In the last 3 cards that I'm going to show really quick, this is just overall his energy right now. We're going to get into some more heavier stuff in a minute, but it's like, this is him, angel of love. He's putting out a lot of love cards and like kind of showing me his creativity, and showing me Archangel Ariel, and basically like how his creative flow was very much into the space of dedication. He saw hip hop as a religion. And I think that's the part that kind of made the indecision for him, that kind of turned him off to the game, was the fact that it turned into a situation to where it used to be something fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something fun. It was, of course it still means to an end, but he realized how it switched the thought processes of people. And he always felt like, people from he created the group Pro Era. Like, the people from Pro Era, they would keep their mind clear and focus on the objective and kind of like have each other's back. But things just kind of like went into a completely different direction because the game can do that. And he's not going to specifically put everything on people's choices. People still had a choice, and they chose their path. They chose the path that they wanted to choose. And it's kind of interesting because I kind of like, oh shit, I was kind of asking him, see this card right here, hostility, because I was asking him what were his feelings towards like the situation with Joey and all this other shit like that. And I'm sorry, we gonna get into this right here. I need to find his card because the thoughts that I was kind of getting when I was focused on it was him kind of laughing every time. I'm just like, so what's so funny? Like, I just don't understand what's so funny. And he's like, the thing that's funny is that, I got into hip hop because I wanted to make a social change for people. I wanted it to be a situation to where people understood that when I'm talking about hip hop or when I'm talking about specific things, the primary focus is to evolve people. That's what it's about. It's to change the dynamic of radio. It's to change the dynamic of what we're constantly being fed over and over again. And he knows that they completely shut that idea down. Like, they completely did their best to kind of suffocate that as much as possible, because he was speaking on some conscious shit. He was speaking on some revolutionary type shit. He was talking about opening his third eye. He was talking about meditation. He was talking about all of these spiritual things. And I mean, his flow is just like crazy. I'm trying to figure out which card he wants to choose. You want this one? Okay. Sorry, I have to like figure out like which card he wants to choose. I just want to ask him, and I'm about to like throw some cards in reverse because I want to see how he really feel about things. Like, what is his relationship between him and Joey Badass, basically. I want him to express how he feels specifically towards Joey Badass. Joey Badass' birthday is January 20th, 1995. Let me just shuffle that up and see what the energy was like between them. I know a lot of people really don't know who this person is and whatever. I really don't fucking care. Like I said, this is like something that's kind of like pushing me out there because I need to give him the opportunity to say whatever he needs to say. And that's kind of like the order that I'm putting it in. Yeah. That makes sense. He is very much happy for his success. He is saying to me, like, I'm happy that he has the victory that he's always wanted. But he's not going to forget the fact that that he understands the deepest truth of what really happened. He keeps saying to me in the past, the star card is in reverse, and he's like, robbed of my destiny. Robbed of my destiny. Robbed of my destiny. So that's number one, being robbed of someone's destiny. And also being in a space of learning or understanding that even with the page of wands in the situation, that there was a lot of it's kind of like there was a lot of disagreements with how things should have gone. Like, he kind of felt like I hate to say it, but it's like, I'm happy for his success, but nigga sold out. Like, that's just what it is. A nigga done sold out. Like, that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I can't pick up this card and show you as much as I want to, but the devil card is in the root. Like, people know what time it is. Like, there's nothing else to be surprised about. It's just kind of a situation to where someone was chosen. He was picked. Everybody is aware of that. But he never thought in a million years that he's saying he would never thought in a million years that my brother would allow a Zionist to come between us. And the reason why I say that is because he's showing me the Eight of Swords blocking his opportunity, like this Knight of this King of Swords blocking his opportunity, which is an exec making an executive decision to choose what it is that he wants to choose, but to make an example is what he's saying, to make an example out of me for the type of work that I've done before going into this label. And he's like, for this particular situation, you have to understand. And see, I was asking him, I was like, did you really commit suicide? Like, was this something that you were focused on? You know what I'm saying? Did you get to a point in your life that you were focused on? And see, keep in mind, he's showing me that there would be times where he would just like go up, cipher on that building, and people probably only call him up there like 1 or 2 times or whatever the situation is. And the way that he's revealing certain things to me was that he was pushed. Yeah, bruh. Don't believe the hype. Fuck that. Your boy was pushed. I don't care what nobody say. If they hate me, I don't give a fuck. People already think I'm crazy as it is, and they try to, make situations where enlightened people exist and that we're all insane. And it's okay with me. I'm pretty much used to that by now. I really don't give a shit. But your boy was pushed. And it's kind of like a fucked up, he's kind of like showing me, like, again, the Tower card, right? Where this is suddenly happening to him. And then showing me the 3 of Cups and then the 7 of Wands in reverse. Like, they didn't know that this was how the plan was going to go. That is what he's saying to me. He's like, yo, like, I already knew that these niggas was like plotting on me. I already knew niggas was like plotting on me because, everybody hungry. Like, niggas is hungry. Fine, I'm going to take the bait. I ain't really too concerned about that because the only thing that I'm really, concerned about is basically escaping. Like, he's like, I'm all about escaping. And he's kind of showing me like the 9 of Cups, like, again, party gone wrong, unhappy with the circumstances of how everything is portrayed within the media. But this is giving him the opportunity to find balance and justice within himself. Because he's been very quiet about this for a very long time. And he's kind of showing me the Judgment card is in reverse, like, and this kind of speeds certain things up to where he's like, I'm not really too concerned about what people have to really say, but karma is going to serve itself eventually. And it's going to be he's like, it's going to be in different accidents, and you're going to see certain things happening in threes, to people. Like, you're going to see certain shit within that situation happening in threes. And people are going to be extremely, like, kind of thrown back by how everything is kind of like unfolding, because he's showing me the Judgment card and the Death card. Like, he's like, I'm like asking him, like, is this a situation to where you are in a space of forgiveness? And he's showing me the Ace of Cups in reverse. Like, that love is gone. Like, I'm tipping that cup over. Like, he wants what he wants, basically. And he's speaking certain things into existence. And I think that they kind of knew that if certain situations were about to occur, that eventually it was going to come to the light that someone was going to speak on him, and they have to deal with it. Plain and simple. They just going to have to deal with it. Um, he no longer wanted to be a part of that bondage he's showing me. He's like kind of showing me like, yo, like, there's certain things like, I wanted to use the entertainment industry as a way of a platform to educate people, to make people think a little bit more, to challenge specific things. But he kind of came out straight out the gate challenging a Zionist point of view. And that's kind of like a big no-no. You know what I mean? Because most of these Zionists, they're, satanic and basically use pity and remorse to their benefit in order to keep doing what they're doing. And it's not to kind of be disrespectful, but he was really triggering the minds of different people and showing the fact that he wanted to use like the 4 and the 7 as a level of symbolism, as like the black sun, or as like, a new wave of the black sun, basically. And it's a situation to where it's misinterpreted, it's misconstrued. Again, he's showing me like these 2 cards. I've split the deck for a reason, because I want to see, again, selfishness, deceit, when asking how he feels about certain things. But he's like, I'm coming back into power. I'm coming back into balance with myself. I'm still a magician. But everybody is doing this for the level of fame and money. And the thing is that he says that he won't, to my understanding, and if I'm correct, he's saying that he won't talk to certain people. I need to clarify this really quick, because I want to see, like, I feel like, well, that's probably true, because I keep seeing it that way. Like, he's like, I'm not talking to certain people. Like, they can see me, but I ain't saying nothing to them. And they know I can talk to them. They know I can speak to them. I just don't fucking feel like it. I don't feel like talking to them. I just be showing up in the crowds. Like, I just show up in the crowd, watching them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I might smile. Sometimes I might look dead in their fucking face, and they're looking dead back at me like they seen a fucking ghost. And then, when the crowd is moving, I disappear. He moves in and out of the crowds is what he's showing me, while people are on stage and performing or doing whatever it is that they're doing. And the thing that's so interesting is that even when I was like listening to the song, Infinity 888, you know what I'm saying? Like, with Joey and X, like, and it's crazy because I remember X was like, yo, I'm gonna be in Brooklyn and I'm gonna do like Capital Steez Day and all this other stuff. But even just the sound of that song, like, I could just hear the instrumental of that song. And it reminded me of one of Steez's songs that I heard. And I was just like, damn, that would have been crazy if Ja would have ever, met him and they would have done a song or did like some crazy shit like that. And life is just weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, how things kind of come together. But let me see. Really quick, I just want to shuffle these. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Damn, dude, I shuffled up these cards like really good, and the devil card is still in the root with the King of Swords in the subconscious mind, because I placed Joey on his crown. He's putting the Lover's card in reverse, and he's saying that there's certain things that I will not get into, that I will not partake in order to be accepted. There's just certain things that I'm just not willing to do, that I've seen other people partake in, that I'm just not going to partake in. That's not who the fuck I am. Like, he's very much like, yo, I'm a Rasta, like, at heart. And if people can't accept me for what it is, because he's like, I am the true Jew. I keep hearing it. It's like, I'm the true Jew. Like, I ain't following no fucking Zionist. I'm the king of this fucking universe. I'm the master of this shit. So you trying to tell me that I have to, like, drop my motherfucking draws to be respected, nigga, you got me fucked up. And that's just kind of the type of shit that he's on. Ace of Pentacles is in a situation, so it's kind of telling me like it's a shaky foundation. They didn't solidify a solid foundation for him in order to grow within his own personal career. And he's showing me, like I said before, he would have been perfectly comfortable being within the underground, but with this Seven of Wands, because Seven of Wands is like the Seven of Wands reversed. It's very much like a stable card, like a solid card. You're standing on your you're standing on your ground. You know what I'm saying? You feel solid. But he's saying someone pushed him. Somebody pushed him. The Seven of Wands is in reverse. They took advantage of his instability, and they kind of did wordplay with it in the media to make it seem some sort of a way. And it's not to say that he probably hasn't gone through depression or gone through different things. People go through different things like that. But I feel like sometimes spiritual people are typecast to be more suicidal because they don't necessarily fit into this matrix, basically. They don't fit into this particular paradigm that's supposed to be generated for them, is what they're saying. It's a lot of different situations to where he's not really too comfortable or really too trusting of his surroundings. It's kind of weird because I keep seeing him like laughing. Like he's just laughing at how people thought they were going to be, happy in their success, that they were going to have all this money, that they were going to be, the leader, the one. And he's kind of laughing about the situation because he's like, you got trapped into fool's gold. You got trapped. You're trapped now, is what he's saying. He keeps saying you're trapped. It's kind of like really crazy. It's really weird. It's some really interesting stuff. Again, this devil card is like people made a choice. He's saying that certain people made a choice into this business, into this idea of fame, and they made their choice. Basically, people made their choice. And he's not really too concerned about pleasing anybody else. He's making that very clear. Like he still has his sanity. And I just want to ask one more question, like just to see what he feels moving forward. And I'm gonna ask people, like, I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna put like some more information down below. I know a lot of people are like not in this live. Again, it's the holidays. I'm not expecting much. But for people that will watch this eventually, you will have all of my donation information from Zelle, Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, all of the above. So if you like what you see, support it. But I'm just kind of doing this because I want to kind of give him light. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to give him a level of like respect because he was really, really talented. And I just realized that they constantly try to like take conscious people out. They really do be trying to like take certain individuals out of the game, basically. Like they really do try to remove that, that awareness from them. So for him, he was like certain things. He said he's showing me the victory card in his subconscious mind. He's kind of showing me the world card, like his position. He's like, I'm a part of the ether now. This is kind of still a part of my success to where I can be more of a spiritual being. He is showing me eventually he's moving forward with specific things to where he can now walk away This is just kind of like a level of like moving forward and finding his own personal light and his own happiness. Archangel Michael is in the root, basically, kind of like working on like healing the things that have happened to him on a physical level. Um, and he's saying that, some of this stuff, like, it wasn't planned. Like, most of these things, like, I formulated these ideas, to create something that was amazing. And then the bumps along the way were kind of created as they came, through this industry. It's like a very dead industry, he's kind of saying to me. And I'm not going to sign. Like, he's like, I ain't signing shit. Like, you are not about to catch me. Like, you're not going to bound me. Like, that's just kind of what he keeps showing me. And he's grateful for the people that have had financial success. I'm sure the people have gained financial success, but he's like, eventually it's going to dry out. He no longer wants to be bound to specific things, and he's kind of making specific decisions on his own on what he wants to do as far as like transitioning into a different experience or into a different life. Um, and again, it's a little crazy because he is kind of showing me that there was like a female energy that he was that he has a lot of love to, a lot of love towards, but he's also communicating to me that he couldn't be bound to this world anymore. Like, he's not going to allow himself to have a bunch of attachments that don't necessarily create the environment that he really wanted to live in. And I think that was the primary reason for him, wanting to, of course, use a means to an end to have money or to have specific things in order to create the utopia that he wanted for himself. But he's just saying that he had to get away. Like, he had to get away from, journey away from that type of a life. Now he can just kind of be in a space to where he has the ability to be happy, to have love, to be happy, and to move forward in his life, and to appreciate the things that make him happy. And I just kind of wanted to end it, I guess, on that lighter note, if that makes sense. I know I was supposed to end it like within like 30 minutes ago or whatever, but for people that wanted to watch this, enjoy it. I appreciate everybody's time. Again, as I stated before, donate, do all that jazz. And keep in mind, I might do like a brief reading towards the end of the year, to focus on, zodiac signs, different things like that. But I just kind of wanted to do a reading for Steez, you know what I'm saying? So happy holidays. Thank you, Maya. Happy holidays to you. Um, and I hope that, you guys enjoyed this reading, and that you guys share, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and y'all take care.